All right, guys, here we go with another episode of 3 Star My Bag. This one's going to be featuring the bag of DGV player Bigdak. So, a little background on his name. So, his name is Dakota, and a lot of people called him Dak growing up, kind of a nickname he had. And then, after doing some time in the military, he got obsessed with the gym and working out and got big and swole. So his friends kind of adapted that into his other nicknames and started calling him Big Dak. So that's where his game name came from. Always fun to learn those little stories and hear about people's game name. So that's where we get Big Dak from. So he wanted me to go ahead and do Northern Lights. It's a course that he's been struggling getting the 3 star with, which is understandably, I can't even talk right now. Which is understandable. There we go. Well, let's take a look at his bag. So Big Dak's bag. I'm actually pretty excited about the way I was able to copy this one. I got a lot of the stamps and then a lot of the colors, so it's always fun for me to mix and match and make the bags. So as far as his putter pouch, he's got the Pure and the Harp combo, so obviously I got no issue there. Love that. The Worship and Fuse combo, both glide. And he's got the Sapphire and the Hatchet combo. So while we're going there, I hadn't really ever played with a hatchet until I started playing with his bag, and I'm actually kind of a fan. It's very similar to the Vandal. Definitely a valuable disc. If you haven't tried it out, it's worth a try. Very understable, even more understable than the Vandal, but it definitely came in handy on a few holes for Northern Lights. So that was a fun disc to play with and get to know a little bit. As far as the rest of his fairways, so he's got that Glide Sapphire, the Roll Sapphire, and then he's got the Skip Grace, which is a great disc. As far as the empty slots, so he did ask, he wasn't even sure how to get that extra slot, so I kind of explained to him the only way to get it is to pay for it in one of the player packs. So in case you're wondering how to free up that last spot, it's you got to pay money for it. It's a few bucks to get that specific pack that comes with the extra slot. So it used to come with a gold ring, so if you ever saw players with a gold ring around their icon, it meant they bought that same pack. But now you can remove the ring and change colors and whatnot, so you don't see that anymore in the game ever since the update. But getting further in his bag for his drivers, you got the Glide Skip Gold, which is a great disc, the Rive, the Glide Roll Rive, the Light Glide Rive, and then he's got the Light Water Skip Gold and the Turn Glide Gold. So as far as my kind of recommendations for his bag, I guess my first question would be what's his throw-in disc? I forgot to ask him that, but if it's the Fuse, I would have him try out the Windbreak just because that's such a popular throw-in disc. He's got the Glide Worship and the Glide Fuse. Maybe consider a Windbreak for that Fuse if he hasn't tried it already. Obviously no issue with the Glide Sapphire or the Hatchet. Both of those are nice. Then he's got the Roll Sapphire and the Skip Grace, both of which are great discs. We talked about that empty spot, so I'll kind of go into what I would recommend there after talking about his drivers. So really the only issue I have with any of his distance drivers are his water skip disc, and I mentioned that when I saw his bag initially. He just hasn't pulled a Glide water skip disc yet, so that's the only reason he has that light Glide or that light water skip gold. But obviously as soon as you can get a Glide water skip gold, it just comes in handy for some of those holes where you need more distance out of that water skip driver. As far as the empty slot, I think the two things that come to mind as far as options there is an understable skip driver, the Paradigm, Enigma, Captain, whatever he kind of likes the flight path the most, or a water skip fairway is an option there. Or I think I just really like some of the 7-speed. I know a lot of players do without a 7-speed, but I love the Explorer, the River, some sort of disc that's kind of a little bit in between his mid-ranges and his fairway drivers. So that would be kind of my recommendations for his bag. But awesome bag. I'm excited to play with it, so let's get into Northern Lights. All right, so to 3-star, you got to get 9 under, 24, so definitely not easy. But if you're going to 3-star Northern Lights and you're struggling with it at all, I would highly recommend just waiting till you just taking a look at some of the discs you can get here. I forget which ones are the rewards. But as I was saying, I would highly recommend starting out with an eagle on hole 1. It's not a very difficult one, so it gives you kind of a cushion for the rest of the holes, because there are some tough holes, and it doesn't take much to end up with a par on one of the holes. So let's get into hole 1. He's got that glide skip gold. We're going to slide left, middle chevron right up on the light there, and then just kind of, depending on the wind, pretty good chunk of anhyzer. Ideally you hit this bank over here so it kind of kicks it over to the right. This one should be good. There's lots of different ways to eagle this. 95 feet out, we should be able to get this. I'm going to throw it about 65 feet worth of power from this distance because it is downhill. And there we go. Again, I forgot to ask him. I hope his throwing disc is the pure, because obviously that's what I'm most comfortable with. And that's probably what I'm going to be using here. This one's a roll sapphire. Slide to the left, middle chevron right above the waterfall. I know it's a tree, but I will always call it a waterfall. And I power down a little bit on this shot. Unless it's a big headwind, then I can give it full power. But other than that, I'm powering down. But this is a perfect disc for that hole. I know some people that have the musket probably throw musket here, but with his bag, the roll sapphire is the way to go. Northern Lights 3. I'm always running this hole, but when I'm trying to 3-star, I already got the eagle. I'm just going to show them the easy birdie line, sapphire, sapphire. Not easy, it's still pretty tough, but it's definitely the way to go here. I like to go for it just for that shot for eagle, and then I get really good at throwing in from the drop zone. But safe play for birdie is sapphire, forehand, middle chevron on that rock there, and then pretty much a straight pull depending on the wind a little bit. And then the second shot, we're going to slide left, same disc, forehand. We're going to aim at that tree here, and then just kind of adjust a little bit depending on the wind. We got a little farther right in the fairway, so I'm going to aim a little left of that tree this time. And you just kind of get used to this second shot. It's a pretty easy shot to execute once you've done it a few times. That one was a little close to the edge. But 2 sapphires there is going to get you birdie really often. It can get tough in big winds, but I would definitely practice that play, as a birdie on that hole oftentimes is going to gain strokes for sure. All right. Next hole. This is my Vandal hole. This is the hole I was excited to try out this hatchet. So let's slide to the left. You got to keep in mind that the hatchet's a little more... I don't slide to the left. I'm just going to keep it same line as my Vandal. Just got to be careful because it is a little more understable than the Vandal. I don't think it can reach it here, so we're going to go with the roll sapphire. Let's see if we can get another eagle. This is perfect distance for this. Turn, turn, turn. Great distance, just didn't quite turn it enough. So we don't get the eagle there, but we get the easy birdie. Again, I love that tee shot, just ending up in that same spot. I've done it for a long, long time, and I've got really good at that throwing from that spot. This one, I'm kind of not sure what to do. Oh, I don't like the hatchet in that huge wind. I'm thinking it's going to turn way too much. I think let's go with the Worship. I think that might be a good option. I usually go Explorer here. That's why I'm struggling a little bit. Like I mentioned, that 7-speed comes in handy for shots like this. But I think with this wind, the Worship should be enough. That looks really good, actually. So that worked out well. I think a lot of players throw the Fuse here on a backhand, just right through the middle of the trees. That probably wasn't the best wind for that shot, so that's why I went with the Worship. This one is default aim for me with the roll sapphire. I'm going to slide left just so I can turn it a little more. This is a tough wind for this hole, but default aim, roll sapphire is going to get you birdie on this hole pretty much every time, no matter the wind. And sometimes you can ace it with default aim. Just the right wind, like a 2 tailwind right to left, you can ace it with the roll sapphire. So it's a great disc for that hole to get the birdie every time. This one, oh, we got a good wind. We're going to try to get the eagle here. Not with any crazy line, with the safe line. Somewhat safe. Glide skip gold. Slide left. Put about half power of hyzer just to hit that gap. You want to clear that rock or get left of that rock. Oh, I kind of got a dead skip there. Dang it. I really wanted to go for this. I think we're still going to. We got a big tailwind. see if we can, oh, this looks good. Should get a nice kick off the bank here. So not as far up as you could have got had I got a good skip on that drive, but still we got a good look here, 140. Let's see if we can drop in another eagle. We're going to take the pure just above the basket with that top chevron. A little bit of hyzer. Get in there. Oh man, just hit the band. Probably was a little left anyway, but I aimed just a little too high for that shot. Almost got the eagle. Still a good bid there. Let's see what we got for hole 8. Oh my goodness, we got this big wind here. This is the wind I'm always tempted to go for eagle, because it's always such a fun one to get. It does not happen very often. So this is my safe line, light glide rive on a forehand, or turn glide to go against that wind. I'd do about that with the turn glide, or maybe the roll sapphire just because that big tailwind, and put much more ante on it. But I'm going to go with the glide skip gold, and we're going to get aggressive here. We still got that shot to give. We're going to try to do the big flex shot in between the houses. Oh, that trail is so sweet. Charlie did such an awesome job on this disc. I love it. Get through. This looks so good. Go, go. Get down the hill. Come on. No. Gosh. I thought that was going to get down there. Oh, I'd be so tempted to run this. But we're just going to throw it up there safe. I don't want to screw up this. I want a cushion on the last hole, just because that last hole can be tricky too. So we're going to take the birdie here. We are 9 under after 8. So let's see if we can finish this off the right way, get the birdie. I'd hate to finish with a par, but either way we'll get the... All right, so here, one wind, we're going to go glide, sapphire. I kind of aim up and down this tree depending on the wind. So with the one wind, we'll put the middle chevron kind of at the base of the tree and a straight pull. This line, courteous of Bamananam, first showed me this line. I used to always go forehand with some sort of a driver. It wasn't the best kick off that rock, making us work for this birdie here, 89 feet. And nice center chains. We get the birdie. We shoot 10 under on Northern Lights with Bigdak. And there you go, guys. Hopefully this helps you out. Can't wait to hear about you getting that 3-star on Northern Lights. Good luck. Hopefully this gives you some lines and some ideas on how to ensure you get that 3-star. And there you go, guys. There's another episode of 3-Star My Bag. Hope you guys enjoy this. As always, let me know if you're interested in me 3-starring your bag, and I'll get you in line. I'm always willing to do this for anybody that asks. But the whole purpose is to kind of help people find new lines for courses they're struggling with, get a little bit of feedback and suggestions on their bag. And there you go, guys. Thanks for watching me play some DGV.